Straight ahead on CCX News, here it comes, the deep freeze.
You could get frostbite within 5 minutes of being outside, so it's very dangerous.
And local schools already canceling classes for the next 2 days. Plus,
the numbers are staggering.
Taking a closer look behind a local expansion of eye clinics. And later, a photo shoot that's more than about the pictures. CCX News starts right now.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Deep freeze is coming. Could it set a record? Hennepin County meteorologists say this wintry blast will include record low wind chills that could drop to the -50 range.
The last time we saw temperatures and wind chills this cold was, I think, in 2014. So it hasn't happened in a while, and the more dangerous part about this is that it's extended over a long period of time. It's not just a single day event.
3 to 5 inches of snow fell overnight in the Northwest Metro, creating a very wintry scene. But playing in that snow won't be much fun when the polar air settles over Minnesota. The actual air temp on Tuesday night will be -26 degrees and 29 below on Wednesday. Experts are telling people to avoid traveling if you can.
Make sure that you have blankets, pillows, gloves, mittens, hats, scarves, food and water in your car, as well as any other emergency type tools that you would have in your car. Just because if you get stranded out there right now, you're going to be exposed to the elements for a little bit, and you could get frostbite within 5 minutes of being outside. So it's very dangerous.
As cold as this stretch is going to be, temperatures will rebound, though, in a big way. On Saturday, temperatures could reach 40 degrees. Clearing the streets of snow can be challenging when the temperatures drop. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us what the Plymouth Public Works Department is doing to stay ahead of the Arctic blast.
320 miles of roads, 930 cul-de-sacs.
Snow-covered plow trucks line the inside of the Plymouth Public Works Department, melting snow on bumpers and blades, remnants from the latest winter blast.
So far, this isn't turning to ice on the roadways. It is coming up pretty easy.
It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to remove snow from the 7th largest city in Minnesota.
We have 22 main plow routes.
A conference room is turned into a makeshift bid room for crews who either worked too long or didn't want to miss their shift.
From about 6 to 11, those guys plowed our main roadways, and then they came in and rested and went back out at 2 o'clock for a full city plow.
Clearing the streets of snow was challenging this time around because crews couldn't pre-treat the roads ahead of time.
When it gets this cold, the salt doesn't activate at these temperatures.
The blue salt you see here typically works when the temperatures drop to -15 degrees, but there's nothing in the toolbox for the upcoming winter blast.
We do have treated salt that we use when the temperatures get colder. When it gets as cold as it's going to in the next couple of days, even our treated salt does not activate.
So for now, plow drivers are racing against Mother Nature, doing what they can before the Arctic blast arrives.
We really want to make sure that we mechanically clear the roads, scrape the roads as much as we can before this cold snap hits.
Officials are keeping a close eye on the roads and the dropping temperatures, hoping they get a break with some unexpected sunshine.
So we're going to stay on it over the course of the next couple of days with the majority of our staff to make sure that we don't have any ice being created by the packing of the snow on the roadways.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
With a cold snap on Tuesday and Wednesday, the city of Plymouth has several safety measures for residents. Residents should make sure they have functioning smoke detectors as well as carbon monoxide detectors. And it's important to have enough room around space heaters so they don't start anything on fire. And never ever use propane-fired heaters indoors. It could increase levels of carbon monoxide in closed spaces. School districts across the metro took preemptive action on Sunday night, putting out word they were either canceling or delaying the start of school. As of news time today, Anoka, Hennepin, Brooklyn Center, Hopkins, Osseo, and Wayzata schools have announced they will not be having school Tuesday and Wednesday due to the bitter cold. After school and evening activities are canceled as well on those days. And as we went to air, we had not heard yet whether Robbinsdale area schools will cancel. In Brooklyn Park, a monumental housing moment. The number of home foreclosures in the city has dropped to such low levels, the city is putting its foreclosure recovery program on hiatus. Last year, there were 69 foreclosure sales. Compare that to 2008, the height of the financial crisis, when Brooklyn Park had more than 1,000 foreclosure sales. The program was seen as a way to stabilize neighborhoods. The city's Economic Development Authority could still invest money in the future to rehab homes if it believes it is necessary. Now here's something to look forward to when the weather warms up. The Zachary Playfield in Plymouth will be undergoing some changes to turn the community playground into a destination park.
We want our parks to be destination parks, meaning that they serve the greater good, the greater Plymouth community, so people can come and experience parks and experience a different park at every park, a different playground at every park. And this one will be really unique and fun.
The playground is nearly 20 years old, and that's the length of time the city typically replaces or renovates its playgrounds to meet current safety and disability standards. On top of making everything accessible, the city is also working closely with the Plymouth Rotary Club to design a park that's unique to our area.
They have purchased some musical instruments, so we are going to have a musical trail that leads into the playground.
The project is estimated at $325,000 and was budgeted as part of the 2019 Capital Improvement Plan. Demolition is set to begin this winter with the completion date set for July. They teach pre-K to adult education and everything in between. 168 candidates are up for Teacher of the Year this year, and several of the nominees are from right here in our area. From the Robbinsdale School District, there are two nominees, Colleen Crossley from the Adult Academic Program and Wilbur Winkleman, who teaches 5th grade at Lakeview Elementary. For Osseo area schools, nominees are Betsy Ernessy from Fernbrook Elementary and Lucas Staker, a Birch Grove Elementary teacher. Also on the list, Julie Kirshner, who teaches at Meadow Ridge Elementary in Plymouth for the Wayzata District. Representing Intermediate District 287, there's Catherine Einslein. From Anoka Hennepin, there's Taylor Melius Polzin and Jacqueline Mingo from Jackson Middle School and Chelsea Regan from Monroe Elementary. In the upcoming weeks, we'll know if these teachers will advance to be a semifinalist or a finalist for Minnesota Teacher of the Year. Still ahead on CCX News, what's behind the growth of eye clinics here in the northwest suburbs. Plus, former players and coaches gather to celebrate 6 decades of Osseo boys hockey. But first, your forecast is cold and colder in the days ahead. We could have record-setting cold by midweek. You may have noticed new eye clinics popping up in your city. One of them opened just last week next to Maple Grove Hospital. There's a reason for that. As Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, it highlights a problem that no eye doctors want to see.
So you having trouble with your eyes that brings you in today?
At Four Seasons Eye Care in Maple Grove,
Or is one better?
Dr. Krista Davis sees the clinic's very first patient.
Better one or two?
Dr. Davis puts patient number 1 through a range of tests.
Now we're going to check your color vision.
Tests that could detect something more significant.
Does one of those animals look like it's jumping or kind of floating off the page at you?
This is part of a typical eye exam.
This is kind of a classic diabetic retinopathy patient.
But what Dr. Don Selak sees is something of greater concern.
The numbers are staggering. You're going to see a significant rise.
Dr. Selak says his eye clinic focuses on more than just glasses and contact lenses. He's on the front lines looking for something that paints a much darker picture.
When you look at diabetes, you look at macular degeneration, you look at glaucoma, you look at cataracts. All of those numbers by 2020 increased by 25 to 30%.
Those ailments are the leading causes of vision loss.
And glaucoma is a disease in which you really start to screen over the age of 35.
Catching them early are key.
So if you look at diabetes, it's over the age of 50, it's a leading cause of blindness.
Thankfully, new technology has helped with detection.
It's much more sophisticated and advanced, very similar to where the difference between when we went from a Polaroid camera to a high definition camera today.
But Dr. Selak says all the technology in the world can't solve everything.
Where it's really hard is your diabetics who don't want to behaviorally change what they eat.
He says the health of our vision rests with what we see on our plates.
The normal diet of green vegetables and the daily fruits. You are going to prevent a lot of eye disease that currently is happening today.
So just look straight ahead.
Back at the eye exam, Dr. Davis sees positive results.
19 and 18, which is very normal.
For Business Matters, Corey Bork,
Excellent, you passed.
CCX News.
The Maple Grove location is the 10th Four Seasons Eye Care Clinic in the Twin Cities Metro. Another one is opening up next month in Robbinsdale. Still ahead, a heartwarming story thanks to a group with an eye for volunteering. But first, a close game between Park Center and Osseo in boys basketball. John Jacobson has the highlights up next.
history of Osseo hockey goes back to the late 1950s, to the days of more outdoor ice than indoors, and a still growing school district with just one high school. On Saturday at Dick Vraa Arena, a celebration took place honoring 60 years of Osseo boys hockey with displays and pictures of former players. Upgrades were made in this past summer to the arena, which includes new locker rooms. And in between the first and second periods of the Orioles varsity game, around 50 former players and coaches were recognized for their place in Osseo hockey history. For the alums in attendance, it was a fun day to look back on special memories playing for the Orioles.
It's been a long time, and it's been quite a few years since I've been back, and I didn't realize that it was 60 years. Locker rooms up there are beautiful. I mean, a long way from when I was here.
That pride is still there, even if they haven't been around for years. I mean, they're still Osseo hockey players, and definitely proud of where they've come from, just like myself and the other coaching staff that's from Osseo. And we're definitely proud Orioles.
On the ice Saturday, the Orioles were looking to break a 5-game losing streak when they hosted Spring Lake Park in a Northwest Suburban Conference game. First period, and the Orioles get a couple of quick shots on net here. The puck comes out to Mitchell Meyer. He shoots and scores. The celebration is on for the Orioles. It's 1-0 Osseo. A few minutes later, Meyer gets his shot on goal. The rebound ends up on the stick of Daniel Ellingson, and he scores. Osseo leads 2-0 just 8 minutes into the game. Jump ahead to the third period. Cade Westman with a great pass onto the stick of Jack Pojar for the goal, and Osseo has a 4-2 lead midway through the third. But the Panthers rally to tie. The pass comes to number 16, Zach Zemlicka, who tries to set up Sam Fritz, but it comes back to Zemlicka. He scores, and Spring Lake Park ties it. No scoring at overtime. This one ends 4-4. Also in the Northwest Suburban Conference, Champlin Park aimed for a win as they hosted Irondale. Knights are awarded a penalty shot in the first period. The puck comes off the stick of Nate Foley. He never gets a shot off. Second period, the Rebels on a power play. Roy Johnson's shot is stopped. Tanner Thompson slams the rebound home, though, and Champlin Park has a 1-0 lead. 4 minutes later, it's a 2-on-1 rush. Jack Bergstrom's shot is saved. Thompson, though, nets another rebound goal. Sophomore with a big afternoon for the Rebels, and it's 2-0 after 2. Brennan Boynton makes that lead stand up with 29 saves as Champlin Park wins at 2-0. The Rebels are now 9-1 in West Division games, tied with Totino Grace for first place. Park Center and Osseo have had some great boys basketball games over the years, including last season when they met for the Section 5 4A title. A talented and experienced Park Center squad won round 1 this season. Teams met for a second time at Osseo on Friday. Pirates big man Dane Danger triple teamed here and still manages to get the shot up and in for a 6-2 Park Center lead. Off a missed 3 from the corner, Danger corrals the rebound and feeds to Tavius Frierson. He scores and is fouled. Pirates lead it by 9, but Osseo chips away. Cornell Richardson drives to the basket and scores 2 of his 16 first-half points. Late in the half, great passing leads to an open 3 from the corner for Terrence Waits. He hits it, and the Orioles lead the Pirates 32-30 at the half. Second half, and Park Center retakes the lead. Joshua Brown with a 3 puts the Pirates up by 1. And then watch the play coming up. Park Center in transition. Frierson sets up Danger for the big dunk. Park Center leads by 4. Danger scores 23 points in the game. The Orioles don't go away. Bernardo Morio with the catch-and-shoot three-pointer ties the game at 45 with 8 minutes to play. Osseo, though, can't pull ahead. Emmanuel Tamba drives into the lane. A nice finish for the Park Center senior for 2 here. Osseo does make a 3 at the buzzer to get the final score down to 1. The Pirates win it 60-59. Cold weather figuring to play a big part in the status of high school games over the next few days with schools canceled. We'll keep an eye on that. That's it for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right. Thanks, John. Up next, a group of volunteers with a love of photography helps out local veterans. We'll share their story when we come back. Family portraits are a snapshot in time, but photo sessions often aren't cheap. When you add the cost of prints, frames, and digital albums, the price can easily add up to hundreds of dollars. But as Delane Cleveland reports, some talented photographers got together in Brooklyn Park this weekend to provide their services free of charge to a special group of people.
Hey, get in like y'all know each other.
In the age of smartphones and selfies,
1, 2, 3, big smile.
Photographs aren't in short supply. But if you ask Cedric Dean of Brooklyn Park, there's still something special about a family portrait taken by a professional photographer.
This is something they can cherish and put on their wall for years to come.
Cedric is one of the photographers involved with the organization Help Portrait. On Saturday,
there you go,
he and about 24 volunteers made their way to the Palmer Lake VFW in Brooklyn Park for an annual event where they provide these sessions free of charge.
With portraits, you're able to capture a person's essence and to be able to take their portrait, immediately show them, and then print them out and see the gratification on their face. Especially for those communities that we are blessing, it's really important.
All right, so
in this case, these photographers are blessing the community of military veterans.
It's been 22 years since I've been out.
Which is fitting because Cedric is a veteran himself.
Yes, I spent 4 years in the military as a way volunteering to our country, but now that I'm out, I can do more, and this is the way I chose to do that.
One of the people benefiting is Evan Morris, who served 10 years in the Army National Guard. He brought his family here from Apple Valley for Saturday's session.
We have a new almost 3-month-old baby, and the pictures just worked out. We haven't had family photos with this guy yet, so we chose to come out today and do that.
Yet the photo session is only part of the package. This event also includes free hair and makeup, a free printout of the family's portrait of choice, and a free digital copy of the entire session.
It was more than I thought. I honestly thought they were gonna kind of be like those lifetime photos that the kids get at school, like stand here, pose here, take a couple shots, all right, you're done, and funnel us out. So, I mean, he took his time.
There are few gifts greater in life than volunteering your time. And for this one day every year, these photographers are happy to share their talents for a cause they're passionate about.
It means more than you could realize.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
About 40 families benefited from the event on Saturday. Help Portrait has done these events since 2009, taking photographs of a different group of people every year. And that's all the time we have for now. Stay warm. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock.